It's cute. We're live. Hi, everybody. Happy Ostara. I just finished welcoming everybody who's in the room. So I want to welcome those of you who are online. Thank you for your patience. We got to chit-chatting just a little bit as that happens. When we have a full classroom of beautiful souls who are here to celebrate in person, and then there's all of you online. I want to welcome you. I'm going to tell you, as I just told them, this is one of my favorite holidays. And hopefully you'll sense my passion. I mean, this is the best. Winter is over. One of my favorite television shows of all time is Game of Thrones. And I'm a huge GOT fan. And so, but whenever they say winter is coming, I'm always like I can just feel myself having a visceral reaction because I don't really love winter. And so now I get to say winter's over. It's not coming. It's gone. We have swept it off the screen for a year. And now we are in the season of growth. I have so much to tell you tonight because I want to walk you through the history of Ostara, if that's okay with you, for a few minutes. We were going to do a full hour of it before, and that just started to seem kind of like a lot of work. So instead of doing that, I'm going to give you like 5 or 7 minutes of the history of Ostara. And if you want more, I'll write it for you. I'm actually writing a book called Ritual, and it's going to have a chapter on each of the high holidays. So if you want to know what my complete knowledge is about the high holidays, the book will come to you next year. But for tonight, I want to walk you through, there's a few reasons why I think tonight is so special. And it's because, and I want you to close your eyes and really feel into what I'm going to tell you right now, okay? The first reality is, the first truth, as far as I'm concerned, is this is not your first life for almost all of you. There is part of you in your soul, and I want you to like breathe into it for a minute. It's very old, and you have celebrated this holiday probably in another country, in another era, perhaps in another gender, perhaps as a priestess or a priest, perhaps as someone who walked the steps of those pyramids. And when I walk you through the history, and in fact, I would invite you just to keep your eyes closed for a few minutes if this feels good to you, because I'm going to walk you through the history from a few different lenses. And some of them are going to feel so right to you, like, oh my God, I know what she's talking about. I've been there. And so just keep your eyes closed while I kind of walk you through the history of this day. So Ostara is the goddess of spring. Her name comes from Eostre, okay, or Eostar, who is the Germanic goddess of spring. And so this is our ancient touchstone. And think about that, Eostre, E-O-S-T-R-E. What word does that sound like? Easter, okay. Now, you know, I come from a Judeo-Christian background. Easter is still a very sacred holiday to me. I celebrate it with my family. I don't work on Easter. I honor the resurrection of Christ. And that is a very important tradition in my own personal background. Doesn't have to be for you, but I just like to share kind of where I'm coming from. I was raised, my parents are Greek Orthodox and Christian, and so it's just a very much a part of my lineage as a child growing up. So I still do big Easter baskets for my kids, and I do all that stuff. But not in the sense of honoring what is a commercial holiday. Behind all of that, I'm trying to teach my children a little bit about how this holiday came to be, okay? So as the legend goes, Eostre, the Germanic goddess, and I want you to imagine her for just a moment, okay? She was walking in the forest at the edge of winter, as winter was turning to spring, and she found a bird who had been injured. And the bird was laying on its side, and she thought maybe the bird was dead. She picked up the bird, but the bird was still warm. Its heart was beating. And so she channeled from her guides, Eostre did, that in order to save this bird, she would have to turn it into a hare, into a rabbit. So Eostre picked up this beautiful bird who was wounded and breathed the breath of life into the bird. And when she did, it turned into a hare. The hare, even though the bird turned into a hare, it retained its ability to lay eggs, okay, as the legend goes. And so this beautiful hare, who was so grateful to Eostre for saving its life, this beautiful hare went deep into the forest and laid its eggs, just as it would have if it had stayed a bird. And it brought these beautiful, when it laid these eggs, they were all multicolored and bright and vibrant, and that hare brought those eggs to Eostre as an offering to her for saving its life. Isn't that beautiful? And so to this day, the egg is considered the totem shape for Ostara, and the rabbit, the hare, is considered to be her totem animal. And so it's a beautiful story. So when I, part of what I try to do, and maybe you try to do this too, when my kids are talking about the Easter Bunny and everything, I try to talk to them about where did that Easter Bunny reference come from? It actually has broad and grand historical roots, and historical roots that connect us to the goddess, connect us to our own sense of power. I think it's so beautiful. And so that is the Germanic, which transitioned to, of course, the Celtic reference for the fact that we celebrate this particular holiday now. Let's transition to South America. Okay, remember, this is a sacred day in every part of the world, Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere. Our Mayan ancestors, what did they do? They understood this to be a very sacred holiday. This was a holiday on which any sacrifices that were made would be blessed by the sun god, of course, and the moon priestess, the moon goddess. Who are we studying next month? Of course, the Mayan god and goddess of creation. The ceremonial pyramid in El Castillo, Mexico, even to this day. And if you ever get a chance to travel and visit these pyramids in Mexico and South America, I highly recommend it. Put it on your bucket list. Even to this day, that El Castillo pyramid in Mexico, at the exact moment when the wheel turns, at the exact moment when we switch from winter to spring, if you're standing at the pyramid, it looks like a diamondback snake is moving down the wall of the pyramid. It will give you chills. Go online and Google it. You'll find videos, you'll find pictures. Watch that snake move down the pyramid. It does it twice a year. Isn't that incredible? And we think about our ancestors, think about Stonehenge. Same thing happening at Stonehenge today, right? And a lot of times, and this is my mission to tell you, a lot of times we look back and we're like, oh, I feel so sorry for our forefathers. They had no technology and, no understanding. And it's like, really? Go to El Castillo Pyramid on equinox and tell me they didn't have technology. And so how did they do it? Well, if you're like me, you believe that they were guided by entities and beings who traveled from star planets to direct the building of these pyramids, both in Egypt and in South America, because the same thing happens at the main pyramids in Egypt. At the exact moment when the seasons change, you can see movement down the sides of the pyramid. That's the sun changing its course. Do you know what I mean? How beautiful is that? So what I love is, and if you close your eyes for just a minute, I think you can connect energetically. There's such a high vibration. Do you feel it even now as I'm telling you this? You have brothers and sisters you've never met who believe exactly what you believe. And they are standing in sacred sites all around the world. Do you feel it? Do you feel like, just move your arms out for a minute. They are standing at sacred sites all around the world today, not just because it's a turn of season, but because this is a vortex of energy. And so what I'm doing with you tonight that I think you're going to love is I'm going to allow you to pull that energy up into your own physical body tonight. We're going to do a roots, branches, and leaves meditation that I haven't done with you before. But we're going to call up the energy from the center of the earth. We're going to call down the energy from the moon and the stars. And we're going to send out branches into the world tonight from you of what it is you want to create this spring, this year. And so right now, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about, what is it? What is on your heart? What's supposed to come through you in 2017? And I'm sure if it's something big, you're probably intimidated and scared because that's scary. But guess what? You're not here because you have a little tiny dream. You're here because you have a big dream. And you're here because I'm going to support you and help you push that energy through to create what it is you're trying to manifest in the world. And I will always be the one sitting here telling you, if you don't believe, that's okay, because I believe enough for the both of us. You know what I mean? I've seen miracles. So I really want you to take 2 seconds right now, and in your mind, I want you to pull up the vision of what is it you're going to focus on tonight. It could be a new job. It could be having a child. It could be finding a soulmate. It could be moving to a new place. Maybe you don't love where you live right now. Maybe it's creating a healing practice. Maybe it's going back to school. I mean, it could be so many things that are on your heart. And even if it's something small, might seem small to you, it's not small to the universe. The universe didn't create you to waste a bunch of time. The universe created you to manifest what's on your heart. And it's given you about 70 to 100 years to do it. And I don't know about you, but I'm almost 44. So time's a ticking. So you have to get very clear and very focused. It can be two things: alter consciousness, comment in the feed. Especially if they're connected, you know, sometimes it's like you want to create this one thing, but in order to do it, you have to create this other thing. So really be thinking about the process tonight, not just the product, but what's it going to take for you to move this thing forward this year. And especially if you've been feeling like, God, every year I set the same intention, it doesn't happen. Anybody in that boat? This can be your year, and there's energy behind you tonight. So I want you to take advantage of it to the best of your ability. Best, the best, the best, the best. Yeah? So I've got tea. Some of you have wine. I love it. I'm seeing a cocktail. Whatever works for you tonight is really good. But just get comfy for the next, I would say half an hour to 40 minutes. And then I'm going to sign off from online because I have something in the room that everybody who's here in person has to do with me. They have work to do when we're done tonight. Okay, good. You guys are ready and open. And you know what? I love that. I mean, people are putting the feed, you know, I'm 50 this year. This is my time. This is your time. You know, if you're waiting for permission, I have news for you. It's not coming. If you're waiting for that huge sign from the universe, maybe it's a subtle sign and you missed it. Ask for clarity, ask for direction, ask for guidance. But the one more thing I want to tell you is a lot of us say, I'm waiting for a sign because we're scared.
I'm confused more than scared.
Or we're confused. Or we're confused, you know? So, but that becomes a way of saying that, you know, like, well, I'm waiting for the sign. So what I have found is you have to step into the circle. You have to step into the circle. The circle is waiting for you to step in. It's almost like the universe does this dance with us. Have you noticed it? Like the universe is trying to support you. You're not sure. So you're waiting for the sign, but then the universe is like, I need you to step into the circle. And we end up like this. And then people come to me and they're like, I'm stuck. I'm so stuck. And it's like, you're like 6 inches from power. But what I have learned is this, in all these years of doing this work, and I've been doing it since I was a kid, and all these years of doing this work, what I know for sure is this: the universe responds to those who are brave. I mean, you're sitting here right now because I took a bunch of risks, terrifying risks. Terrifying risks, by the way, with health problems in small children. So if it looks like I was just brave and I always had it kind of figured out, I sure didn't. But I had a calling in my heart, and I started feeling pushed from behind by the universe. So if you don't start acting, the universe is going to start pushing. Do you know what I mean? And first it pushes kind of gently, and then it starts kicking a little bit. It didn't take long. The kicking is uncomfortable. Have you noticed? You think labor with a child is hard? Try being kicked by the universe. Well, it feels so good. Okay. All right. So let me keep telling you stories. Persian kings. Anybody know what Nowruz is? Nowruz? Yeah. New day, right? Okay. That's in my line too. I descend from that culture as well. Persian kings, Achaemenians. Okay. And I'm not talking about Persian people you know now. I'm talking about a civilization, okay? Celebrated what they call Nowruz, a 13-day festival, beginning both between the lunar cycle and the coming of spring, the day of spring. In fact, most Nowruz celebrations happened this past weekend. They were happening all over my neighborhood, which is part of how I know. But my family also celebrates Nowruz. Nowruz, new day. And what I want to teach you is, when you see people on Facebook celebrating Nowruz and you kind of watch, did you see any of that? Like, oh, celebrate Nowruz and the beautiful food and the hibiscus tea and all the beautiful things. I want you to stop looking at that as, oh, that's what those people do. That's you too. Every celebration, every Ostara, every Easter, every Passover, every Nowruz is you too. There's some part of your soul that knows these traditions. When I go to Passover dinner with my kids, because my husband's Jewish, I just sit in tears I mean, I've got chills from head to toe. Am I Jewish? I'm not. But you know what? I know I have celebrated that holiday in a past life. So you've been everywhere. You've done everything. Now you're here. What are you going to do with it? That's the question the universe has for you. Whether you call it Nowruz, Ostara, Eostre, Easter, Passover, have you noticed how close they are? They're all within 2 to 3 weeks of each other. That is not a coincidence. Yeah? It's creation. It's the whole universe saying, death is behind us. We'll see death again in October. And I'm ready for it. We're going to work with the Valkyries when death returns to us. Okay? Any questions before I move on, whether it's in the room or online? Any questions about that? Do you feel it? Do you feel the call and the connection to different civilizations? And it's fun because I'm raising children now. You know, I gave my kids pan dulce this morning. They'd never had it. They freaked out. I found pan dulce at the grocery store. So I bring it home and my kids are like, what kind of donuts are those? And I was like, you know what? Let me tell you something, kids. And I told them the story about how I used to go to Mexico all the time as a kid, but it's not as safe as it used to be. So yeah, I used to go down through Tijuana. And the Mexican culture is very close to my heart. I'm not Mexican, but you know what? I sure have been. And I speak Spanish fluently. When I go down there, that's home to me. And that may sound crazy to you. It may even sound like I'm appropriating something. Like maybe it's not appropriate for me to feel that way. But you know what? I swear to you, I'm Mexican in my soul. Is that weird? And so I gave my kids pan dulce this morning, and they literally, like, there were crumbs, and they were like, no, going like this to like lick up the crumbs. And I was like, listen, when it's safe enough, I will take you, and we will get pan dulce together, and you will know, and I'll take you to the cemeteries, and you'll see the flowers, and maybe they will, and maybe they won't. But what I love is become a global citizen and see yourself as part of the broader matrix and fabric. Because I promise you, your soul has been everywhere. And so nothing I'm going to tell you tonight is probably foreign to you. That's right. Teresa says, Athena, I've always thought I was Italian. Great. You know, it's sort of like, and somebody asked me this week, actually, they were like, are you Indian? And I said, no. And they said, well, you know so much about these, holy and these holidays and the gods and goddesses. And I said, somewhere in my soul, I am. When I put a bindi on and I pray and I think about these deities, it takes me to some other place. But I think, and by the way, this is the way to world peace. I believe it. And you may not think world peace is possible because our world is so fucked up right now. But I do think world peace is possible. And I think part of it is we have to see ourselves as each other. Not in a negative way, in a positive way. And have love for each other and appreciation for each other. And the more you can learn, I think the more you will grow. Like I just taught you about Nowruz. We're in a culture where, we have complex relationships with the Middle East and different countries like Iran. But you know what? There's a spiritual lineage throughout our planet, and we have to honor it, especially as practitioners. And the beauty of these cultures cannot be forgotten because somewhere it's our soul too. Does that make sense? Oh. Okay, so we've talked about all that. Now we're going to talk about roots and branches and leaves. I'm going to smudge a little bit. I smudged our room already, but I do like to smudge for you too. It's just so healing to torch things. Woo! If you can't change it, torch it. Woo! It's true. And look, I mean, how much can you change? Almost nothing. So guess what? Torch it. My mantra is, I can change nothing. Unless it's me. If you have selenite, just open your circle. I've got the power tool. I will do that too. Okay, and our circle is open. I'm going to read a brief invocation, not as long as usual. So just close your eyes. Casey says, preach, Athena. But I do preach a little bit because I think it's time. For so long we have celebrated what divides us. I think we need to celebrate what connects us. I'm you. I mean, I look at you and I see me. And so hopefully you look at me and see you. That's all I am to you. It's just a big giant mirror of everything you love and don't love. But that's all you are to me too. You're here to teach me something. And we don't have long to learn it. So we have to get focused. Okay, close your eyes. This is a 4-direction prayer from the Lakota nation. Creator, I come to you tonight. It is I. Thank you for today's sunrise, for the breath and life within me, and for all of your creations. Creator, hear my prayer and honor my prayer. As the day begins with the rising sun, I ask, Spirit Keeper of the East, Brother Eagle, be with me. Fly high as you carry my prayers to the Creator. May I have eyes as sharp as yours, so I'm able to see truth and hope on the path that I have chosen. Guide my step, Creator, and give me courage to walk the circle of my life with honesty and dignity. Spirit Keeper of the South, Wolf, be with me. Help me to remember to love and feel compassion for all mankind. Help me to walk my path with joy and love for myself and for others, for the four-legged, the winged ones, the plants, and all creations upon Mother Earth. Show me it is right for me to make decisions with my heart. Did you hear that? Show me it is right for me to make decisions with my heart, even if at times my heart becomes hurt. Help me to grow and nurture my self-worth in all ways. Spirit Keeper of the West, Brown Bear, be with me. Bring healing to the people I love and to myself. Bring into balance the physical, mental, and spiritual so I'm able to know my place on this earth, in life and in death. Heal my body, heal my mind, and bring light, joy, and awareness to my spirit. Spirit Keeper of the North, White Buffalo, be with me. As each day passes, help me to surrender with grace the things of my youth. Help me to listen to the quiet and find serenity and comfort in the silences as they become longer. Give me wisdom so I'm able to make wise choices in all things which are put in front of me. And when time for my change of worlds has come, let me go peacefully without regrets for the things I neglected to do as I walked along my path. Mother Earth, thank you for your beauty and for all you have given me. Remind me never to take more from you than I need, and remind me to always give back to you more than I take. And together we say, Amen, Aho. So it is. Yes, for sure. Rebecca's asking if I can print this one. I will PDF it and I will put it in our full moon ritualist group. Yeah, is that a good common place for everybody to find it if you're looking for it? I know a lot of us are there together. Aho. Okay. So I'm going to light my Ostara candle. If you have your Ostara candle. Did you see Lillian's beautiful art on this candle? She's something else, isn't she? My beautiful graphic design team makes all of our original art, which I think is so lovely. And art is such an important part of magic. You know, it's without an image of Ostara, it's hard for us. We need that as a touch point, you know, like I think art is very, very important. So I'm very grateful to have artists on my team to support me in that. And then your Ostara perfume, if you have it, I'm going to anoint, you know how I always do. God, it smells so good. I've been wearing this one all day. Little on my third eye for what I know, on my wrist for what I do, on my ankles for where I go. Now I'll pass that one on if anybody needs it. And then gemstones. So it's up to you. In your Ostara set, you have all kinds of things like aventurine and apatite and citrine, rose quartz. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to choose a stone to work with tonight that represents your area of growth this year. So if you're trying to grow your finances, work with citrine tonight. If you're trying to create a new opportunity for yourself, work with aventurine tonight. Aventurine is good luck, new opportunities. It creates a vibration of growth. So if you're doing any kind of growth professionally, I would work with the aventurine. If you're trying to release something, especially if you're trying to work on your physical body, apatite, if you're trying to lose weight, there's nothing better. Stick it in your bra. I have a lot of other suggestions for weight loss too. If you're in my classes, you've heard me talk about all the other things, but blue apatite's a nice place to begin. So it just depends on the work that you're doing. If you're trying to let go of grief, or if you've been feeling like a victim, anybody in that role, like, oh, it just keeps happening to me, moss agate is really helpful for that. Moss agate gets you out of that victim conversation. Because let me assure you, you're not a victim. Things aren't happening to you. If you feel like things are happening to you, you have to get in the driver's seat. You just simply have to set an intention and become more focused. For fertility, that's going to be your garnet. If you're working on fertility, trying to make a baby. That's a baby maker right there. I mean, you know, you need to do things, but not right now. You don't have to do it right now, but maybe later tonight. Or I always had my babies. My children were born on the 15th and 31st of March. We call them paycheck babies. That was not planned. Okay. My son was very premature, so he was supposed to be born almost in May. But I always joke, it's like literally my kids' birthdays come. There are, you know, cherry blossoms on the trees every year. It's like this beautiful way to celebrate Ostara. So I think I found a lot of magical practitioners end up getting pregnant and delivering in March. So if you haven't gotten pregnant yet, June can be a magical month. Have a bunch of sex in June. Any other requests about stones to work with for tonight?
Strength.
Strength, a lot of stones for strength. Tiger's Eye for me is a very strengthening stone, like the plain one that hits the solar plexus, not the blue, which is more of a third eye. Sapphire is a very strengthening stone. So if that resonates with you. She's asking about strength. And of course, any of the root chakra stones are going to stabilize you. So if you're feeling like a leaf in the wind right now, and a lot of you are, I know that for sure because I have my finger on your pulse. Garnet, hematite, obsidian, jet, petrified wood. These are all stones that are going to strengthen and stabilize you as you go through change. Sarah's asking about success and restarting your business. Jade, particularly nephrite jade, is really good for business success. All jade is good for business success, but the nephrite seems to be particularly strong for that. Derek and Michelle, leadership, that's going to be sunstone for you. Sunstone is actually the only stone that is uniquely used for leadership. Every kind of leadership, by the way. Jasper is really good if you need some sweetness. You know, like if life's been hard to you, Jasper can be really good for bringing loving, tender loving kindness to your life too. Yeah, but there's always alternatives. So you can always ask me. If there's time at the end, I'll leave a little time for Q&A. You can always ask me, because if there's one primary stone, there's always 10 alternative stones. And I want to make sure you know that there's lots of different stones to work with. That's so great. She already bought the nephrite jade. She's got it. If you have anxiety, a lovely glass of red wine and some lepidolite is what I would prescribe for you. There's a question in the feed. Can you heal me? No, no, but you can. I'm a big believer. Here's the thing. So, I love the idea that a lot of us are healers, because we are. But do you know the number one mistake healers make is that they think that they're the ones doing the healing. Let me remind you, it is not us doing the healing. We, at our best, we're really good channels. You know what I mean?
I think it's an easy job.
It's right. Well, because you just stand there and that energy comes through, but it's an intention. So I do think there are people in the world who are profound healers. I consider myself a healer, but I think my number one job is to be a good channel of the divine and almost get out of the way so that energy can come to you. So I set an intention that the divine will send you whatever you need through me and the tools that you use, but it's not me. Isn't that awesome? Which means it can be you. I love that, actually. I always worry when people say they are the healer. I'm always like, that hasn't been my experience. It works through us. Selling a house, a couple things good for selling a house. Jade, cinnabrite is good for selling a house. And then what you should do is take a piece of clear quartz, program it to support happiness for the new owners, and put it outside the front door. Works every time. If you're trying to sell a house, anybody been in that position where you're trying to sell something or a house or something and it just doesn't move? Take a piece of quartz, program it for the happiness of the new owners, health, prosperity in your home, put it outside. When you're ready, they'll start coming. So good. Okay. So close your eyes, roll your shoulders back, hands on your knees. So there's two ways to put your hands on your knees. When you put your hands up, you're receiving energy. When you put them down, you're grounding energy. Okay, so just be aware of the position of your palms. During ritual, it should be like this. After ritual, it should be like that. Yeah. Oh, to stay focused, fluorite. And for kids who are having trouble in school, fluorite. Fluorite actually is becoming really important because we're seeing, I'm an educator by training, and we're seeing rates of ADHD, which I have mildly myself, like skyrocket, as well as rates of autism. There's lots of reasons for that I won't go into now, but we're learning that fluorite, and in particular fluorite with hypersthene, is a really good combination for kids to balance out erratic emotions, help them focus in school, and improve their academic performance. So just a 2 cents. If you have friends who are struggling, that's a really good combination for them to work with. And gentle for kids too. They're not hard stones to work with. And affordable too. Okay. So I want you to take a moment. I want you to stretch your arms out. And you can keep your arms in that receiving position. Put your palms up. And even if you're seated, I want you to imagine that your legs are stretched out in front of you. If you're in a place where you can stand up, and if that feels better to you, you can stand for this meditation, but you can stay comfortably seated too. You don't have to stand. And if your arms get tired, just put them down by your sides, but leave your palms facing up. Giving you a good bicep workout now, though. In Great Spirit, we come to you tonight in celebration of this high holiday, the turning of the great wheel of time towards spring here in the Northern Hemisphere, which takes us into the season of creation and becoming. There is no room for excuses or procrastination. We are here. And so tonight we come before you asking for blessings on all that we will create in the year ahead. We ask for blessings of safety and comfort. We ask for blessings of inspiration and growth. And most importantly, we ask for blessings of manifestation and success on each of the new beginnings, new creations that we will bring forward individually and collectively in the year ahead. We give thanks for the blessings that you will bestow upon us during this ritual and onward as the year progresses. Together we say, Amen, Aho, so it is. So I want you to imagine that you, tonight, are not you in your physical human form, but you are a tree. This is going to be our sacred metaphor for tonight. And of course, the tree of life is such a potent metaphor. We see that shape and that symbol and that metaphor throughout every spiritual and theological tradition in the world for as long past in history as we have record. Trees are so sacred. If you ever feel ungrounded, go find a tree and hug it. We talk about tree huggers, but it's for real. You will feel grounded. The tree people have so much to teach us. They've been here so long before you ever were born or conceived, and they will be here so long after your body has returned to dust. And so tonight I want you to let go of everything about you that's human for just a moment. I want you to transform into the most beautiful tree you can imagine. And that could be a huge oak for you. For me, it's a fir tree. Whatever tree resonates with you and makes your soul sing. It's been a long time in the beautiful forests, redwood forests of Northern California. I think I left part of my soul there when I moved back to Southern California, but those trees were home for me. They're always ready to take you in. They're always ready to hold and support you. They're always ready to anchor and teach you. So when you can't catch your breath sometimes, just imagine, instead of being in that human form, let yourself become a tree. And I want you to imagine that from your waist down, you have the most beautiful ancient trunk. Oh, I love that weeping willow. So beautiful, beautiful birch. From your waist down, I want you to become the trunk. And I want you to imagine the width and the dimension and the beautiful shape of the trunk that you're becoming. Knowing that beneath the surface of the soil, of course, those incredible roots spread down into the center of the earth. So I want you to take a moment and I want you to push some roots down into the earth. Imagine pushing them out of the trunk of your tree and send those roots down as far and as deep into the center of the earth as you can imagine. And if it helps you, if you're visual like I am, imagine just setting them down and hooking them onto rock and soil and limestone and quartz and all of the minerals that grow inside our Great Mother. Just imagine sending those roots down and letting them just curl and coil and anchor into the center of the earth. And what do roots do? So we send them down into the earth, but roots are designed to pull up nutrients into that tree. So I want you to imagine through those roots that you just sent down. And maybe some of your roots are inches wide, or maybe they're just the width of your finger. Like really crystallize the vision. What do those roots look like that you're sending down into the center of the earth? And I want you to imagine now, and guides, please help us as we do this exercise together. Allow us to pull up into those roots, into our roots. All the nutrients and wisdom and support and love. And as you pull up through your roots, remember what else is laying in the earth. All of the bones of all of your ancestors. All of the bones of all of your past lives. All of your cells that have walked this planet countless times, could be dozens of times. It's all there. Earth is holding a memory of you. And Earth is holding a memory of you that may even be older than your oldest memory of yourself. It knows you. So when you go outside and you're stressed out and you put your feet on that earth, it's saying to you, I know you. I remember you. It hasn't been that long. And so guides, Great Spirit, help us to pull up into these roots all the nutrients and love and support from our ancestors, support from our own former selves. And just imagine all of that coming up into you from these roots. We always send roots down, but we don't think about what's coming up through those roots and how it can feed you. And start to feel that fullness. And for a lot of us who are intuitives, by the way, this is uncomfortable because we're used to being in those upper chakras. I've got you in your root chakra right now. Get comfortable here, spread out. Become more aware of your hips on the floor or on the chair where you're sitting. And let yourself make that contact between what is below and what is above. And take a moment here. It's hard for a lot of us to receive. For right now, your only job is to receive, receive, receive. Receive food, receive wisdom, receive support, receive strength, receive encouragement. It's all there in the center of the earth waiting for you. Receive the stored and trapped wisdom that lives in all of our crystals. All of the crystal people are in the center of the earth too, don't forget. So let all of them, let all of those good teachers send those vibrations and frequencies up through those roots into you now. Are you feeling vibrations of quartz or obsidian? Are you feeling an anchoring or a magnification? What's coming up through the earth for you right now? And breathe that in and let that go on the exhale. Let's try that one more time. I need to hear you. And once you feel full, and by feeling full, what I mean is you should feel supported. You should feel grounded right now. Do you feel grounded? You don't open your eyes, but raise your hand if you feel grounded right now. If you feel like you're connected to the earth. If not, let those roots keep pulling, 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 and imagine them pulling up through them everything that you need. And guides, if we don't know what we need, teach us, show us what it is that needs to come up and through us through these roots. And then pulling all of that up into your heart chakra, right into the center chest, which is solar plexus and heart. This is where you feel and where you become. This is your center of power as well as your center of emotion. So let all of that wisdom and support and everything come through and let it fill your heart. Let it fill that center of power for you. Remember, the mantras for the solar plexus and the heart are I am, I can, and I love, right? So I can and I love become your statements here. So what can you do? And what do you love? And just affirming that as you receive all these nutrients and energy up through the root. And then as you do that, extend those arms back out. If you pulled them up towards you, extend them out for just a moment. Let them stand. And from this place, and this is what I want you to experience tonight, from this place where you've got the rooting and the strength and your ancestors are sending all of that encoded DNA up through these roots to you tonight, as you extend those arms out, these are your branches. This is your life force. So you're taking all of what is past, ancestors, right? What has died, what has, in so many ways, composted and is ready to come up for you for renewal, and then extending your arms out and letting your life force extend. And I want you to imagine as you do that, sending out from your fingertips all the leaves that you can imagine on these beautiful branches that you're extending out. And if you saw my video this morning, you know how the leaves begin as almost like imprints of leaves. They're just little tiny, and sometimes they're red, and they turn green as they unfold and they grow. So let your leaves go through the full cycle where they sort of like come up curled, and then they open and they extend out. And for as far as you can imagine, send those leaves out and up, and make a canopy with your branches and your leaves tonight. Let it grow above you, to the side of you. Let it grow in front of you and behind you. And use your arms. Like we're used to being stuck. Don't do that. I'm short, but I'm going to do it. Ready? All the way out, and all the way in front of you, and all the way behind you. And feel the full diameter. Like turn your body around so that you can feel this beauty. Expand yourself tonight. This is the time. In the winter, we go like this. Don't touch me, don't look at me. But in the spring, we go like this. This is our season. We're coming, we're growing, we're allowing, right? Let it be. And don't be self-conscious about it. Let it go. And really imagine, like, what would your leaves look like? Extend, extend, extend. And try pushing your arms. Like, push them out as far as you can. It's a beautiful exercise, isn't it? We're so used to not doing that, but you need to practice it. I wish you could see in the room. It's like, it's so beautiful. The wingspan that you have, it's powerful. And the whole universe is waiting on you to do exactly what you're doing right now. So let that out. Now I want you to imagine, think of what you pulled up from the earth as food. I want you to send that out to all of those leaves, each one of those tiny leaves, receiving the wisdom, the support, the love, the courage, the beauty, the trust, the surrender, the breadth of how far you can reach above you, behind you. It's so beautiful, isn't it? You are beautiful when you expand. And if it hurts, sit with it for a minute. Feel what it feels like to extend yourself into this space. Feel that. Some of you are living like this, with your shoulders up like this. Don't do that. Roll and breathe and expand. Now I want you to take a moment. What's on that farthest leaf? That one that you sent out way to the tip of your fingertips. What is that leaf? What's that little bit of growth for you? How will you know if it's growing? It depends on what you're creating. So if you're imagining a move, maybe that leaf is signing a lease. Right? If you're imagining a new job, maybe that leaf is saying yes to that job interview that comes to you. Or setting in the application you're terrified to send, right? Because you don't know. Or maybe that leaf is saying yes to that date. You haven't dated in how long, but you're ready, and that person is there. It's the yes. That leaf is the yes that says, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. So I want you to, if you're not holding one of your stones already, I want you to take a stone or two, if you feel called. Choose the ones that resonate with your goal. I'm using two, one for each hand, whatever feels good to you. If your arms are heavy, you can put them down. I'm just sitting here going with it because it feels good for a minute. So I have one stone in each hand, and then just pull that in. Pull all of that energy in. And just like you tend a plant, have you ever tried to grow a plant that's a little tiny seedling and it doesn't have roots yet, and you're watching it to see if there's any new leaves that are forming, and has it grown and has it taken root, and I don't know. Imagine that these are those little tiny leaves that are growing for you. And you can either use your breath, you can use your hand to send love and energy to those stones. calling in the energy of your guides and your ancestors. And tonight, collectively, for the group, I really want all of the guides, all of the ancestors, all of the guardian spirits, all of the guardian angels and archangels surround us tonight and join us as we send the blessings to these stones, that they can create a new beginning for us. And then I want you to imagine, for the last part of this meditation, I want you to imagine sending strength to those branches that you are growing. So whereas they're little tiny at first with little tiny leaves, I want you to imagine those branches getting thick and big and strong. And those leaves going from being very small to being huge leaves. And maybe there's a flower, maybe there's a fruit on your tree. What is it? How will you know if it's growing and expanding? And so tonight I ask for all of you. I ask for a great blessing upon your work, your life, your love, your family, your partnership, your health, your happiness. May every single person who's watching live tonight or who will watch the recording later, may each of you know the most divine blessing on your life in the year ahead. And may that blessing come to pass between now, March 20th, tonight, Ostara, and December 31st of this year. May that blessing make itself known to you in powerful ways on this day of renewal. Amen. Aho, so it is. You feel powerful? Do you feel it? Do you feel yourself expanding? And this could honestly feel like the weirdest thing you've ever done. Because you need to know within yourself how powerful you are. You need to know that you're capable of what you desire. It's really cute. I'll tell you a quick story, and then I'm going to close our circle and sign off so that our group can bless the candles in the room. This may not sound related, but it is related. So my daughter was doing a little performance at school, and she was supposed to stand with the girls and wait for the boys to come and rescue her. And my daughter said, I got a note actually from one of the parents later that night. My daughter said, my mom says that no one's coming to rescue anybody. And so I'm not going to do that part of the show. And so I got a note saying, so apparently your daughter has told people that no one's going to come and rescue her, which I do. I tell my kids all the time, you dream a big dream, but it's your dream. Don't wait for somebody else to come and fulfill your dream. Don't wait for somebody to come and save you. No one's coming to save you. But the good news is you can save yourself. You're a hero. So it's very cute to see my daughter kind of like spit that back at 7 years old and have another parent go, apparently your daughter wants people to know that nobody's going to come and save us. But that is true. And do you know how different people's lives would be if they really believed no one was coming to save them and actually got excited about that? No one's coming to save me. I'm going to save myself. If this year becomes your year, and I believe it can be, but you have to believe it too. If this year becomes your year, at the end of this year, I will look you in the eye and say, you did it. You did it. You believed, you trusted, you held the space. You didn't listen when people told you it wasn't possible. You weren't afraid. You let go of those old bad patterns that weren't serving you. And you trusted, and it happened. And I will celebrate that with you. That's what tonight is all about. That's Ostara. And I think that's why, if you think about it, the rabbit, of course, continued to bring the eggs to Ostara as a gesture of thanks for her. But she wasn't waiting for that. She did it because she believed that that was her role. She was simply doing what was in her soul to do. And then the universe smiled on her and expressed gratitude to her. But I think all of us are here because we know we have something to create. We know it's there. And it's your time. This is your time to do that. So take a moment, give thanks to your guides and all of the spirits who've come together to join us, your ancestors who are here supporting you. They're so proud of you because you're going to break the patterns, all that stuff. I mean, can you imagine? You won't have to keep coming back again and again and again if you can break that stuff. So just receiving that and then bringing your branches in. because for the next few weeks before you begin that growth, you're going to have to hold all of that energy in you and incubate it like a child, almost like you're gestating. It's not quite time yet, but it's coming, and we're ready. So we give thanks to all of the guardian spirits who are here with us tonight. We give thanks for the blessings upon us this year. And I'm especially grateful for the blessings upon you. It's so beautiful to witness you and hold the space for you. I know this is going to be your year, and I can't wait to see it unfold. Tori says, must let go of the shame, have to release it. You absolutely do. There's no time for shame. Let that go. That's in the past. Today's a new day. So when we opened our circle, the energy of the circle came back to you, right, in your right hand. So you're going to release it from your right hand. Let the energy unwind as it does. It will come around and it'll come back to you in your left hand when that's open. And we're going to turn our hand upside down and send all the energy we raised tonight from this beautiful ritual back down into the center of the earth. You don't want to hold it. It's not yours to hold. You worked it. You raised it. You worked it. You channeled it. And now we send it back. And Gaia, please receive this energy that we have raised. Send it where and how and to whom it is needed. So grateful for your gifts. Let us be beautiful mirrors of your bounty. Aho. Guardians of the North, we release you. We're so grateful that you attended our circle this evening. Guardians of the West, thank you for allowing us to feel and to release the emotions that aren't serving us. Guardians of the South, thank you for your service to the circle. We release you. Thank you for the courage it will take to break some patterns this year, but we are ready. And Guardians of the East, we are always thankful for a new day. Thank you for the service to the circle. We release our elementals. Aho. And so, this is a big moment for you. It is a big moment for you. I want you to remember this moment at the end of the year. I want you to look back and say, that night, I said yes. I was scared shitless, but I said yes to my future, to what's possible for me, to my family, to breaking old patterns, to letting shame and fear go, to remembering that you're not that kid, you're not that child, you're not that person. Your soul is big and it has a purpose. May you live into it with grace. So it is. May you live into it with grace. And our circle is open. Thank you so much to those of you who are online tonight for being with us. We're going to do a little ritual here. Let me see if I can show you. Ready? Zoom. That's what we're going to do tonight. Isn't that fun? We're going to bless these beautiful candles. Did I make you nauseous just now? I'm sorry. I did that. We're going to bless these beautiful candles that came to us from Africa. So I have something special in mind for people in the room. A couple things you need to know. I made a special perfume today that's pretty amazing. I'm going to send it around the room. It's called Grow. It's really special when tools are made on Ostara. And we don't have a lot of this, but I want to make sure you knew it was there. You're saving 17% off everything in the shop right now with code LUCK. So that's what I got to tell you about that. Oh, and you should come join our classes. We're having a lot of fun. If you go to sagegoddess.com/register, you can learn all about the classes that I teach online. In fact, I'm teaching a bonus session on aromatherapy tomorrow. So that'll be really, really fun too. But enjoy. Take time tonight. Close your eyes. You can always replay this meditation if you want. Remember how important tonight is. There are only 2 equinoxes a year, right? Equal night. That's what equinox in Latin means. Nocta, night. And so we only get 2 of these really special high holidays a year. Work with your crystals, meditate. You're going to have easier access to your guides tonight, and let this be a really sacred holiday. And teach your little ones and teach your partners, teach your friends, show them something about how to celebrate Ostara. They'll appreciate you for it. And I will see you soon at our next full moon ritual. Bright blessings, everybody.